Hi student, this is for bca-4th-sem student and today topic is finally throw and throws keyword. Actually we have already seen that try, catch and finally block is used for exception handling and execute the exception handling. So finally block always execute whether any exception has been occurred or not. So it's always runs. Here you can see this diagram. One program code has been occurred any exception, yes, so exception has been handled, yes, it will goes to the final block. If exception handle is not handled, then it also goes to the finally block. If program code is not exception is not occurred, it also goes to the finally block. So always finally block will be run. Here you can see the example where you can see the it is a arithmetic exception and it is written in try block because here exception is occurred and catch block will uh, handle the exception. After handling the exception, final block will execute this statement. So output will be the java lang dot arithmetic exception divided by 0 and within printing statement finally is written. So this is the one case where exception is handled. There are another case where exception is not handled but finally block will be executed. Here suppose your program name is except. So after running exception, final block will be executed but exception is not handled and exception or error will be thrown or will be shown in your computer. Exception is thread in main. So another case, third case is exception is not occurred. That time program will be run properly. Program will run properly. So this is about the finally block, and next is throw and throws keyword. Here throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception, or it is a user defined exception where user can create exception using throw keyword. So still you have seen that Java is throwing the exception using try catch block or try catch keyword, but now user can create throw or can create the exception using throw keyword. And how to write the syntax: throw new, and this is subclass. Within subclass message will be written. So this is the subclass to create object using new operator. How to work throw keyword: suppose your method name is valid. Within valid method int I will be passing, and if condition I less than 18, there you can see any error may not occur in Java program. Actually this is condition is true, but you suppose as a user you think that it may occur any error. That time you can create this may occur as a arithmetic exception. You can create using throw keyword: throw space new arithmetic exception. Within arithmetic exception not valid is written, anything will be written. So using this subclass one object will be created, and that object will go to the catch statement, and within catch we using catch statement that exception will be handled. So if you execute this program without try catch, you will show the error because catch, and without try catch it cannot be handle this exception. So you have to use try catch. Even you make your exception in one way, but yet you have to write try catch block. So using try catch block, output, suppose you enter output 15, so not valid will be shown because finally it is finally executed. Any error or any exception is handled through catch. After handling this exception, a printing statement is there. So if you write this program without try catch, so output or any error may be occurred, or error like exception in thread main java.lang.arithmetic exception and printing statement is not valid. So this about the throw keyword. And next is throws keyword. Why this is used? This is used when one programmer use method of another programmer, and that programmer doesn't know that method may occur the error and may hamper your code. So that time throws keyword is used to maintain that, or to understand that this method or this program may occur an exception. So it is used to declare exception. It provide information to the programmer that there may occur an exception. So during call of that method, programmer must use exception mechanism. Suppose programmer 1, programmer 2, programmer 3, programmer 4 up to programmer n, and method 1, method 2, method up to method n. So if programmer 2 used to call method 1 of programmer 1, but P2 doesn't know that M1 has error, so that time P2 also hampered as well as P1 also hampered from this error. That time P1 have to write after method throws exception, means from this method exception can be occurred, you have to mention. So suppose example here, class ex1 extend exception. ex1 is a class name or exception name, where exception is a superclass and ex1 is a subclass, and ex1 constructor passing the string value, and this string value will be passed to the superclass using super keyword, and this is the simple declaration. So within ext2 another class ext2, or it is main class, so where here is the method valid, where after valid method throws ex1 will be written, because throws is the keyword, ex1 the type of class type. And so if you call this method from this method, so you have to write try catch. Without try catch you cannot, this exception cannot be handled whether it is written throws. So suppose another programmer will call this method, so this programmer will be known that, or will be familiar that this method may occur the exception. That's why throws keyword is written after method. Always have to the aware about the error, or have to the maintain or mention the about the error. So another case, there are two cases. One is, can we call the method valid without using try catch, without having compile time errors? Yes. How? So that time without try catch block we have to write after public static void throws exe1, that time when call the method valid, and valid method throws an exception, and this exception is occurred from this main method. So a main method handle the exception through jvm. And another case is, can I throw exception of type this exe1 without using throws? So exe, and because suppose if you not mention throws exe1, that time what will be happened? That time we have to mention here without, instead of exception, runtime exception must be written, because runtime exception, if you use this runtime exception, then you don't use this throws exe1, and simply after written runtime exception, instead of exception you use throw new or a new exe1, then it will be run properly. So thank you all. Next class will be on multi-thread